hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like, a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends we made along the way. Welcome back to the ShoeOnHead channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am ShoeOnHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists, to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at
male loser my ass. Look, we're out there trying, and everybody's crapping on us. That's why.
This point.
If you don't know where to start in Top Heroes World, the Springland is a great place to start. There are low-level enemies and villages with free healing.
Yeah, we got commercials.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we?
Go Ground News!
Is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says, Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York.
It's amazing how
very different vibes.
It's so different
Ground News since 2020
from everyone else.
I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see
how your viewpoint changes. No, half glass, half empty.
I love it. I highly recommend it.
And then there's those who's the glass on? What table's the glass on?
Immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the
Nobel
Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what you're doing is really important,
if you like politics,
right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you to the viewer for not skipping the ad. Right?
We never skip the ad, right? Right, guys? We never skip the ad.
They seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day
Okay,
in hopes
here's
of
this
winning
American
back the
men
working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party.
Working class men. $20 million in luxury hotels for working class. Guys, how many of you watching come home from a hard day work just to enjoy that one beer? You break it out of the fridge, it's nice and cold, and you drink it, and you're like, yeah, I did my job. Do you care about luxury? I mean, I do. I mean, if I can afford it, yeah, I do. Damn. But $20 million in a luxury hotel just to ask what's wrong with the American men? Maybe don't blame everything on us.
Yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys.
Yeah.
The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic.
Okay, you've seen what has happened to the latest AAA. You bring politics into video games, it's just going to backfire. No one cares about politics in our video games. We just want to load up, hack, slash, kill, destroy. If you're an RPGer, you want a good story. And everything is second. Or, like me, just load up Call of Duty and let me shoot stuff. Okay? This does not need a Call of Duty person walking up and getting, if I'm doing a loadout, I don't need a political ad while I'm trying to figure out if I want an M1 Grand or an MG42. Okay? Don't do politics in my games. It will backfire. Harsh. Because you take a bunch of gamers, you spend all the free time playing games, you destroy that, they're going to have a lot of free time. And gamers are very vindictive people. I should know, I'm one of them. And we will go.
Animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles.
What the heck is that?
Here
is that
is
bird
another
seed?
young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential...
What? My hair is blue. My hair is blue! Shoot! What are you trying to say about my hair? My hair first. She's me.
mates, but moving on, here is another young man.
Oh,
we think.
Nox!
We're not
Nox the hero.
quite sure about this
Base
one,
Nox.
we're
We
still
love you,
studying
Nox.
it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here.
We don't want her
ShoeOnHead is
comments.
a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the source.
Since Trump scored big
Yeah, her
with young male
comment
voters
section
last election,
horrible.
Democrats are spending
They're hilarious.
$20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that.
Okay. One, I agree with it, not spend the $20 million. I mean, it's free. Just listen to people. Heck, pay me $10 million. That's half the cost. I'll tell you exactly what the heck's wrong. Right here, right now. You hear me, guys? I will get in your face and tell you exactly what's wrong. Haha. But what she just said about sexist, it is not sexist. Well, the DEI crap is, but yeah.
But the stats don't bear that out now. Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But
they want that, yes. But with the 666. Like, why are you bringing the devil's number in here? I tell you why I'm bringing the devil's number in here. Because they want 6 figures minimum. They prefer 7. 6 foot tall. I'm a short king, so I know. As soon as I say the word 5, they're gone. They hanged up. They are moving on. So it's 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and 6 something else. I'll let you know about that. It has to deal with inches, from what I understand. They've been told, yes, queen, you're perfect. You can get a 10 out of 10 guy. But here's the thing, ladies. The 10 out of 10 guy don't want you. No. The girl he's after ain't looking because he already had her.
But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely...
Okay, what is with this? This has to be like an American white person thing. Because every other ethnicity and country that I've seen that's where Philippines, Mediterranean area that I've seen and worked with, their sons stay home until they're married. Okay? I think even the Bible says that in Jewish tradition, when the guy goes out, when he finally leaves home, he leaves home to build a house for his wife. And then he goes and gets his wife once his house is done. So no one leaves home until they are married and have their own family, because they stay home and do the work with other families. I mean, even the 1920s, 1940s, my grandparents stayed home to work the farm with their parents. It was a family farm. You do not leave that farm. The land gets divided and gets kind of crazy, but you do not leave the farm. So what is with this? Why is it every guy has to have his own place as bachelor pad? I know there's some like me that needs their own space because I kind of just want to do my own thing. But yeah, it's
absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece, because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic, because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than 2 stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second.
woo!
Stupid
Woo!
bimbos.
Yeah! Yeah!
I felt left out.
Go,
All right,
Shoe!
let's go. Wait.
You walking that
I
blonde.
need my gamer fuel.
Question, is that a wig or did she actually blonde?
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
She drinks white Monster, y'all. I'm green Monster all the way. And don't you even dare bring that blue stuff in my house. I'll kick you out. I'll kick you out if you bring that blue Monster up in here. White's okay. White's okay, but I'm not.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is all.
It is not the guy's fault, y'all. And we are not lazy. No, we are not lazy here. No, we are not. Want to know what's up? No one can get a job. Why? Because DEI and foreign people getting H-1 visas.
Also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but
only
it's the
because they want.
feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomenon.
Does anybody remember, was it, who was the president before Biden? Not George Bush, I think it was George Bush. There was nothing on the media, so they had to cover the fact that he went and got a doctor's checkup. He's like, yeah, everything's good. It's like, George Bush is fine. What's on the media? That was a slow day in the media, I tell you that.
Phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs, f*** you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
Oh god, no!
Imagine being
No,
able to do
Shue!
anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
We don't care
Is the
about
amount of young
those.
men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No.
Hell
They're
no!
not paying for DoorDash,
Hell
Tommy.
no.
They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently?
I actually like cooking myself. I really do like cooking. I actually enjoy baking more, but everyone in my family turned diabetic, so I can't bake anymore, so I can't. It's kind of makes me sad. So, ladies, if you like your sweet tooth, contact me, and I'll start baking for y'all because I like making cakes and cupcakes. I do cook spaghetti and curry and some Mexican food like enchiladas, mainly Tex-Mex like refried beans. I make hand tortillas. Thank you. Handmade tortillas, not store-bought. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay, going on.
Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market? Either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering.
Dating sites. Let me hit you up. There are so many red flags you ladies put in your comments. This one lady's like, I'm a liberal. Actually, the silver lady. I'm a liberal. I want a liberal man. It's like, yeah, good luck with that. Swipe left or wherever, right, left. I can't remember. My memories. I got a goldfish memory here. I can't even remember why I ate this breakfast. Oh, okay, maybe.
Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News.
Yeah. And was it $5,000 pantsuits? They are nowhere near our level. They try to be like, we're near you. We're concerned about you because we're one of you. You are not. If you drop $5,000 on a suit, get lip filler and all that, you are nowhere near us. This is like, I work minimum wage, but I have a 5,000. Nope. If you got anything 5,000 other than a car in America, then you got problems. I'm sorry. I'm living on ramen, and you're trying to explain to me what is wrong with America. I know exactly what's wrong with America.
Based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead, boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their...
And it's not just housing, it's apartments too. Back in my parents' day, was it $280? Got them a good apartment, like 2-bedroom apartment. Now, just a single bedroom's over $1,000 a month. Who affords that? That's most of your paycheck.
Best. They're not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why—
Oh yeah, just to let you know, it's not exactly from China. It's assembled in China. It's actually from like Taiwan and the other Philippines. They manufacture it, and then they bring it into China, and they assemble it, and then they send it over to America. I don't know how it's supposed to be cheaper than manufacturing American jobs, but they say it's cheaper. I don't understand why.
Why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something.
So it's all the women's fault.
Happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so...
Woo! Femboys! I'm securing my masculinity to be a thought schizophrenic. I am secure.
Maybe. But, here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that—
I think that I don't have any children myself, but I know other dads and moms and stuff like that. And they all say the same thing, 10/10. they would do it again. I mean, it's best decision in their lives. But then again, we're biologically designed to have children, so of course we would have that fulfillment because it's basic needs being fulfilled here.
That men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if
That sounds like a personal problem. There's a lot of personal issues out there that can be solved with therapy. Thank you.
all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think...
Hell yeah. Guys, how many of you have seen a barista from Starbucks or a Walmart cashier that is more attractive than any supermodel out there? Raise your hand. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, comment down below. Be like, I've seen them. I've seen their beauties. Comment, because there's a lot of attractive women out there. And we do not care. You just say hi. You say hi to us. And you are nice to us. And you're respectful. Girl, we will put a ring on that finger. No question asked. You just there's a limit to crazy. Every man has a limit to the craziness. But we will put a ring on that finger. Just be nice, be respectful, and we will put a ring on that finger, ladies. No, yep. That's all you gotta do. You gotta come up, say hi, because we can't approach. We cannot approach you anymore. Because the majority will take out the cell phones and scream at you. I have witnessed this for myself in person. Other men, I've luckily never had that done to me with the cell phone. Luckily, they were like nice enough to be like, "No, I got a boyfriend." I was like, "Okay, cool," and then I leave. Or they was like, "Nah, not interested." I was like, "Okay, cool." Whatever. Moving on. I mean, who has time to mess with anything if no one's interested? But yes, just be nice. Be nice and approach us. We will thank you.
Men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point,
Yeah.
I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more! She also
There's
believes
always
women
more.
don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider. If
A relationship is a give and take, guys. I mean, ladies, a relationship is a give and take. If you over here say, "I am the table, I am the furniture in the room," does that mean just sit there and do nothing? Because that's not going to work for any relationship. That's a dead end.
you think you
So
need to
nothing.
get
So you
something
should
out
have
of
nothing.
it, I quite frankly don't consider you a
nothing.
real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18.
Okay, I can't explain that 12-year-old decor stuff. Ladies, if you're in a relationship with a guy, he won't change anything if it's working. Pants or wardrobe. Most men only have one, maybe 2 pairs of pants. And same for shorts. So our wardrobe consists of either between 3 to 5 outfits. Why? Because they work. We usually have a clean set for going out, meeting people. We have a dirty set for working. And then maybe an athletic set that we run in something in. If it works, we leave it alone. That's how men think. It's just, if it works, we leave it alone. We don't need much. We are very minimalistic in certain things. So
worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19. Never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18?
Oh, I talked about this!
My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals.
My mom. My mom actually destroyed a cookbook. That's the level of cooking ability my mom had. She destroyed a cookbook. She burnt it on the stove. She forgot which burner went to which and had the cookbook on it, so she set fire to the cookbook. Woo! Yep. When your mom says that carbon scoring is good for your health, you're going to have to learn to cook at that point. Yeah. Going on.
I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Dino Nuggies! Dino Nuggies! Dino! With ketchup!
If you were miserable at your job, you got to get out of it.
Breaking the mold. How liquid death disrupted the beverage.
Bone apple tea.
God, I thought I fixed that. Okay. So, Dino Nuggies and macaroni and cheese. If you can fix that for me, let's get married. Let's marry right now.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid, lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into Jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job, lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and—
Hell yeah! Guys, it is not your fault. It is not your fault. It is the company's fault. I personally applied to over 500 positions at Chase Bank. 500 positions. And let me tell you, I found something weird. They do not hire American citizens. Well, it's not usual. I even had a few interviews that were not in English. These were American positions. They were not in English because no one in the department knew how to speak English. In fact, hang on, let me check this out. Here, let me get. I need to fix this. Give me one sec. So, they have a map. Some of the locations, they have maps that are like DEI stuff that shows where we're all from. And give me 1 second. And they're all from Nepal. There we go. There's over 30 names on this. This is an entire department. And it's just not one department. There's multiple. Engineering. Print operations. HR. All from Nepal. All on H-1B visas. They are bringing them over, paying them a third the cost of a true American citizen. Research it. Go on. They're all related to their aunts, uncles, sons, daughters. There's a grandmother I saw in one of these things. He was supposed to be a supervisor. A lead engineer. And she's over there watching YouTube. Because I'm guessing she didn't know what's going on. They are families in these entire departments. And you wonder why you can't get a job? Because they won't let you. They deny you what's going on. They are all from Nepal. And Chase openly does this. They say that they can't find anyone in the United States. And then they are allowed to go and hire someone from H-1B visa. Even the visa says they are required to put Americans first. In this recession, when other companies had laid off thousands of IT engineers, and you're telling me there are still no American IT engineer you can get for this job, so you go to Nepal or the Philippines? This is all the jobs, guys. This is why you cannot get a job. I applied to 500 positions alone at just Chase Bank. And it's all Nepal. Department after department after department. And they are not the only one. There are other companies that are like this. So, yes, it is not your fault, guys. In fact, contact your representatives and let them know. Let them know that you want jobs and you want Americans first. That just got my rear end. Because I've been spending years at this point looking for another job. Have not been able to because of this. And so, yeah, there we go, guys. It is not your fault. It's the government allowing corporate corruption to hire offshore people. Well, not just people, families, entire families, brothers, aunts, sisters. They're just taking these jobs. And if they don't get the productivity up right, the companies will remove the visas. And then they have to go back. It is not fair for anyone.
Billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Open borders.
That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it would make a lot
of
the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of the
And that is why we're all poor, guys. That is why you're eating ramen. That is why you can't live on one living wage anymore.
These jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those jobs—
See what I mean? See what I mean? They cut you off. I worked in the IT industry. I was making 6 figures. And now now I have to work 2 jobs to make living ends meet. Get this. They hire these H-1B workers, these families. They don't know what they're doing. I know why. Then they contact me. They contact me to work, to go in for like an hour or two and fix the issue. Because they cannot set it up right because they don't know what they're doing. They do not have the background necessary to work these jobs. You have senior staff engineers that require in-depth knowledge, but you have their brother who never even touched a computer before. He's not knowing how to do this. I've worked with people who have not worked with computers before. I had to sit there and lead IT personnel and instruct them how to log on to a domain. Log on, username and password because they never had a computer before. This is stupid. So they're taking a position that should be 6 figures and they're giving it to this guy for $60,000. A lot of us would do a lot of stuff for a job making $60K. But that brings down the entire industry pay rate. So you can't do that.
Job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives...
It's kind of like a new brand of slavery. They force them over, threaten their visas if they don't make productivity, and then if they don't, they kick them out. You either do the work or you leave. And they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. Not like us. American citizens can say, you know what? I don't want to be a cashier on overnights. Bye. And go off and leave. And still be in America. They do not. They go back to a worse state. They go back to no running water, no toilets. And, you know, this is the slums. It is literally slums. Trash everywhere. So they would do what they need to do to stay. Longer hours, low pay. It's stupid.
Conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year. He told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement, ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too.
This is how to get in shape fast.
If you want to drop this, start eating more of these.
Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly and—
Guys, is that true? Because for me, I don't care. I'll be a nurse. I'll be a secretary. If you're paying me the right amount of cash, I do not care. I just don't.
Entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher paying, higher position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the
ladies, pay my bill
for this age group. In the US,
Take
a
me out.
2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and...
Okay. So let me break this down. Women want to date up. So they want a man who's more smarter, so probably at least a bachelor's. Masters. If they have a bachelor's, they want a guy with a master's or a doctorate. And they want him to make more money than they. And so, of course, it's going to be slim pickings. And of course, they're going to be focused on the career because social media says, you're the queen, be the career goddess. So, and when men can't do that, we are pushed out of jobs. Just any type of bachelor degree is worthless now. You have people working with English and literature degrees in technical fields. That just shows all you need is just a bachelor. It's a worthless piece of paper that you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on because it's worthless. The job wants it just so they can say no to hundreds and thousands of other people.
1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
You know, with all these equal rights and women are equal to men, why don't they have to sign up for the military? If it's all equal, then let them have equal ability, die in the war too.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss ShoeOnHead. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker.
Guys, there are CEOs that fly first class. That's right, first class airlines to go to work every day. That's how much money they make. But then again, most of them use the corporate credit card, so they're not paying for it.
Anything else? Anything else happened around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there...
That is true. That is true. Work is not... And that's why everyone's watching YouTube or listening to Spotify when they work, guys. No one cares. No one cares about the efficiency of the work. I have friends that are like, I would do my important. I want to make sure no one is hurt when I go on vacation and stuff. I'm like, dude, no one gives a crap. They will fire you as soon as it's advantageous to do so. They do not care. No one cares. So do your minimum list and your work and just move on. They do not care. No one cares. Guys, I had over 20 different certifications across Azure, Google, AWS, IBM, Linux, Windows. 20 certifications. So I can work my ass off because it was an amazing company. But when I was terminated and laid off, I was making the least amount. Everyone was making at least 30, 40K more than me. Now, I was still making six figures. Yes. But to know that I had the most certifications out of everyone in the company, and that I was so good, everyone was coming to me. I was the problem solver. I was the go-to. I was the GOAT. But I was making the least amount. I asked for promotions. I asked for money. And I started the job only making 40K. And I ended with six figures, asking for promotions, money, and I was still the lowest paid person of everyone else. The most certifications, the GOAT, the problem solver in my company, and I was still the lowest paid. This is why work does not equal success. It doesn't, guys. I'm sorry to tell y'all, but it doesn't.
Some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have given up, but it's not...
Hell yeah, VTuber, baby!
They tried.
VTuber here!
Just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never-before-seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system, and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them, because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with four-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. you might still need it. Unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not.
We need a new party, y'all. We need a new party. In fact, form the party around me. That's right. Vote for me. Vote for a VTuber. VTuber party, y'all. Let's form it. We have the Democrats, Republicans, and the VTubers. Form the VTuber party. Rise up. Vote for a VTuber, baby. Vote for a VTuber. Heck, the horse score. What's her horse score? Give me. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Horse score VTuber lady. Tomo. Oh my god, that took me far. Okay, yeah. Okay, so VTuber party, y'all. VTuber party. So Tomo already had a billboard up asking her to vote for you. Let's do this. Form it. Form the VTuber party. Form it around me. Join me. Let us fill the Congress seats with TV. With monitors and TV screens so VTubers can vote for bills and stuff. Let us form the VTuber party. A full electronic party. Let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. Rise up. Vote VTubers.
Maybe not even a George Bush 2 electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No, you can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. Because I know you gremlins love that shit. Bye!
Bye! Yes, if you love ShoeOnHead, we do love you, Shoe. We love you, ShoeOnHead. Please check her out. Subscribe to her channel. Subscribe and like and notify on my channel too. I did take a hiatus for a little while. I'll probably come out with a little short layout about that. Maybe not. Because I know a lot of you are probably in the same situation. The reason why I took this hiatus was personal. But I'll share it because there's many of you. Probably, like I said, in my situation, but that I had to overcome. But yeah, so like, subscribe, and hey, let us enjoy the VTubers. Woo! Yeah! Woohoo!